Hey everybody, welcome to this week's Weekend Filler, which for some of you is in a new time slot. For the rest of you, it's the same great filler you've always come to love. As we all know, Weekend Filler is the show about people just like you all over the Delaware Valley. People eating cool things, drinking cool things, rescuing cool things. In fact, we like to say, we're putting the U back in UHF. First up, we're getting hungry like the wolf times 45 at the Wolf Sanctuary of PA. Big bad wolves, lone wolves, dire wolves, they're all there, or something that will remind you of something like that.
We're Wolf Sanctuary of PA. We've been here since 1980. We are a non-profit rescue facility. We rescue wolves and wolf dogs who've been displaced from either household settings, where it's illegal in Pennsylvania and many surrounding states to own wolves and wolf dogs as household pets. So we rescue them from those sort of settings and also from other zoos or sanctuaries that unfortunately have to close down for one reason or another. The pack behind me is the largest one we have. There are 9 wolves in there, and they're all a family. So seeing their different social rank and social status and their characteristics and their behaviors and all of that has been really fascinating. And also just to see them, being happy in their natural environment has been pretty awesome. So we have a variety of different kinds of tours. But basically, if you come for a public tour, you're going to have either a guided tour in which you're in a group of 30 or so individuals, and a tour guide like me will guide you through the facility, stopping briefly at each pack to provide some facts and information about the wolves here, introduce them, give their names. You get to see a little over half of our wolves during the public tour. The private tour, you see all of them. And you're also learning about wolf biology and conservation too. So the Adopt a Wolf program is sort of like a sponsorship program. So you don't get to take the wolf home with you, but you get a personalized certificate. You would get a professional photo of the wolf. You'd also get a letter from the wolf telling you a little bit about their history and how they came to the sanctuary, and also some interesting facts about wolves in general. And then each year it's voluntary if you want to renew the adoption, and you would get a larger updated photo of that wolf. And 100% of all the funds from the adoption program, from the tours and events, they all go directly towards helping the wolves here. So in order to continue to provide for the wolves, we rely on the help of private donations and adoption programs and things like that. It's very costly to run a sanctuary like this. For instance, each of the wolves behind me and all the wolves at the sanctuary, there's about 45, they all consume about 5 pounds of meat per wolf per feeding throughout the winter time, and about 2 pounds each throughout the summertime. That's a lot of meat. We accept meat donations. So that kind of helps to offset that, but we also have 3 large walk-in freezers to house the meat. We have a large property, we have a large building, we have permit costs, we have all of these things coming together. It costs a lot of money. But one of the improvement projects we've been able to work on is this fencing behind me. This was the first of the fencing to be built several years ago, and we've expanded each of the enclosures around the property and put up this professional grade fencing. Improvement projects like that are what we need help with, as well as the daily costs. We're located in Lititz, Pennsylvania. It's about an hour and a half from Philadelphia. It's sort of northern Lancaster County, on Speedwell Forge Road, across from the Speedwell Forge County Park.
Next up, Tri-State Canine Response Team. These are the special dogs and handlers that help those first responders that need that little helping hand after seeing the worst things that our society has to offer. The cool thing about the Canine Response Team, they like to be pet. Okay, that's every dog, but these dogs know who needs that little extra special attention. They'll go to a crowded room and they'll be like, that guy, he needs a little loving.
Hi, my name is Janice, and we're with Tri-State Canine Crisis Response Team. Tri-State Canine Crisis Response Team is a group of volunteers. We have 35 handlers and members, and what they all started out as therapy dogs. They have a year's experience, and after that year's experience, we test the dogs for temperament test and resiliency to see if they're able to do the work while they're out on a crisis.
One of the things our teams are able to do is respond to crisis and disaster situations. Our teams provide emotional support to victims and first responders that have been affected by the crisis situation. In one example, we went down to Florida to the nightclub shooting, Pulse.
So that was a very heartwarming event for us that we were able to go there and give some emotional support to families, first responders, and the police that were down there at the time.
We were on our way home from Orlando in the airport, and a woman came up to me with her little daughter and asked if they could pet Minnie. And I thought, well, okay, Minnie loves children. She'll go right to the child. And I said, let's get down to her level. So when we got down on the ground, instead of going to the child, she walked right past her and crawled into the mother's lap. And the mom was petting her. And finally she looked up at me and she said, yeah, my husband's taking me out of town because I've been so sad. I lost 2 people at the Pulse. And Minnie knew that the mommy needed her, even though she loves children.
A therapy dog normally goes into a situation where the environment is predictable, and our dogs go into environments where they're unpredictable. So Janice has a mental health background and I have a dog training experience background. So we came together and said, okay, these are the qualifications that these dogs need to be able to handle this. While doing that, we realized the handlers also need additional training as well as the dogs. So our handlers go through extensive lists of training such as psychological first aid, canine first aid and CPR, human first aid and CPR.
We attend schools where we would work with the therapist. In the resource room, we work with children that are autistic and special needs.
So when we get deployed, the dogs usually enter a common room with either it's the students or the first responders, and it's a very casual conversation. I will say most of these dogs are able to pick out maybe who may need it the most.
When the Tri-State dogs go out, we bring not only joy, but we also bring comfort. And so you'll see all of our dogs in all sorts of settings, but they know where to go. They know who to go to make them feel better and help them deal with whatever the crisis is.
All of our teams at Tri-State Canine Response Team are volunteers. They volunteer their time, they volunteer their dogs. We're able to do this because of the support that we get from the community. We have a sponsor a dog program, so you can sponsor one of the working teams. You'll be able to follow that dog, see the work that he does throughout the year, and make a difference in the community.
If you'd like to volunteer with Tri-State, check us out online.
While we can fly guests with adaptive needs at any time of the week, any time of the day.
Welcome back, Fillerinos. Next up, iFLY. iFLY is cool enough as it is. You're actually skydiving indoors. But this element adds a special thing to it for people with adaptive needs. iFLY can accommodate the special needs any single day of the week. This special kickoff was just for people to get together and feel comfortable.
We're here at iFLY Indoor Skydiving in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. We're celebrating All Abilities Night, the night where we invite our guests who have adaptive needs to come join us at iFLY for a special event where they can learn how to fly. We can fly guests with adaptive needs at any time of the week. This is just a special event for them to come out in a low pressure situation, meet other flyers who are just like them, and deliver the dream of flight. All Abilities Night started out of a desire to create a safe space for guests with adaptive needs. While we can fly guests with adaptive needs at any time of the week, any time of the day, we wanted to create an event for them to create a fellowship and hopefully form some new friendships with other people who are just like them so that everyone can come out and enjoy this awesome sport.
I thought it was a lot of fun. A little hard, difficult, but I had a lot of fun. I was kind of scared going in, but I realized it wasn't that bad and a lot of fun.
I mean, I had a feeling it was gonna be great. I was going for the Willy Wonka vibe, you know, the scene where they go up and it's like they had to burp down. I couldn't quite catch my breath to burp, but I had a ton of fun.
It was really fun. I was nervous at first, but after I got in, it was really fun.
I was scared a little bit, but because I've never done this before, and I was scared to go really high, but at the end of it, I really had fun.
So we are located in the overlook at King of Prussia, next to the IMAX movie theater at 290 Goddard Boulevard in King of Prussia, PA. We're open every day of the week, 365 days of the year. When iFLY says that we deliver the dream of flight to anyone, we mean it, and we're proving it here tonight.
Lawnside is known for many things, not the least of which is its spot on the Underground Railroad. We're going to take you to the Peter Mott House and learn more about the rich history of the Underground Railroad in Lawnside.
My name is Linda Shockley. I'm president of the Lawnside Historical Society. We're the owners of the Peter Mott House Underground Railroad Museum here in Lawnside. Welcome. The Peter Mott House is the oldest house in Lawnside. His property was considered outstanding for an African American in the early 1800s. Peter Mott was an agent of the Underground Railroad, a conductor who led people to freedom along the secret network. We were told that he carried people in his wagon to the Friends in Haddonfield and Morristown. Peter Mott is somewhat of a mystery to us. A historian was able to find his death certificate here in New Jersey between 1850 and 1880, but it's not clear that he was born in New Jersey. After the Civil War, he said he was born in Delaware, which was a slaveholding state. But, you know, he told the census takers, I'm from New Jersey, because there was a fugitive slave law. If you escaped to a free state, you could still be taken back. He was a person of conviction and courage who didn't think it was robbery to help others who were less fortunate. So when we invite people into the Peter Mott House, we show them some of the maps that show the escape routes from the Underground Railroad from the South as well as in our region. We also have documents showing the U.S. Census with African Americans listed and their value or their worth as people. We're fortunate to still have this building standing. In 1989, it was threatened with demolition, but a coalition of community people from all around the area, as well as state officials and historians, got together and did the work necessary to keep this building here for us to enjoy and to learn from. Thanks for visiting the Peter Mott House Underground Railroad Museum. And if you'd like to make a donation, you can go to our website, petermotthouse.org. See you along the Underground.
I totally buy a ball from the toy store, I stick it on like a shot glass, and I paint it.
Welcome back, Filler fans. Next up, we're doing Rip from the News. As you well know, Rip from the News is when we take a spot from our good friends upstairs in the news department. Unforgettables are one-of-a-kind baseballs that are painted like a canvas. But it's not just logos and mascots, it's about the actual memories of the game.
Emily Wolfson is the owner and creator of Unforgettables.
As you turn it in your hand, you see more and more parts to the ball that kind of make it this complete whole, which I really liked.
She paints custom baseballs for teams and fans across the country.
I totally buy a ball from the toy store, I stick it on like a shot glass, and I paint it. I thought it was this really cool medium of like, it was like a canvas, and it was sewn together in this like way where you could have two different parts to make a whole, which I really liked.
Emily says she's made unforgettables for President Clinton, for astronauts, and for many World Series teams. But most of her artwork doesn't focus on the team logo or the specific players. It's more personal than that. She likes to find the human element from those World Series games.
Yes, yes, yes.
She paints the unforgettable phrases and quotes.
That's what they talked about.
And the memorable moments from the games.
That was, endemic to that series.
So Emily, she's a mom, she's an entrepreneur, and she says luckily, because her canvas is so small, she's worked out of her home office here in Ballackinwood for over 20 years.
For each one, I do the design on a baseball, and I kind of rough it out to see how it's going to fall, and then I do it on these like flat peanut shapes, and that's how I do the final piece, and then it's sewn together. So, but once I do it, there's a single original, and then just like you have an art print, I'm selling art prints. They're just printed on baseballs instead of, a poster for your wall. I feel like I've created a real niche with the baseballs.
And for many of us Philadelphians, we sure hope Emily can paint us another World Series ball sometime soon.
If you're looking for a 5K with some of the fitness but all of the fun, then the color runs are for you. It's kind of like your MyFitnessPal app with an Instagram filter.
For everyone, you can be slow, you can be fast, take your own pace. I like the color on because you get to act like an idiot. It's amazing.
Back when we were known as WB17, which some of you still call us more than a decade and 2 name changes later.
Thanks for sticking around. Up next is my favorite spot of the week, our famous top 5s. This week we're going to do the top 5 things you may not know about PHL 17. I love these spots because they always have cameos of the other producers that are involved in Weekend Filler, including myself, when I least expect it.
There's a lot of things that have happened over the years here at PHL 17. There's quite a storied history here. Some of those stories you've heard us repeat quite a lot. Hey, did you know that Kelly Ripa was on Dance on Air in the 80s? Waka waka. Because you haven't heard us repeat that old chestnut over and over. But what about some of the lesser known facts about the great entertainer that we haven't uttered ad nauseum? I'm John Clements for Weekend Filler, and this is 5 things you probably didn't know about PHL 17. Number 1, the pre-WPHL days. PHL 17 has been around since 1965. It was the great entertainer, the WB. We had Dr. Shock and Dancing on Air. That's all good, but despite what our anniversary show told you, it's only partially true. You see, before the station signed on in 1965, it actually existed under a different set of call letters in the early 60s. In 1960, a full 5 years before WPHL TV signed on, Channel 17 was WPCA TV, where its call letters stood for People's Church of the Air.
And lo, on that day, God said, "Let there be Channel 17," and it was glorious.
The station focused on religious programming and was in existence for only 2 years before shutting down operations. In 1965, a group of local investors would scoop up the dormant Channel 17 FCC license and create what you all know and love as WPHL TV. Number 2, the current station building used to be a supermarket. We touched on this very briefly in the 50th anniversary show we aired back in 2015. But it's something that's worth exploring a bit further here. After 10 years of operating at its original location on Mermaid Lane in Winmore, WPHL TV was moved to its current location in Winfield. The building the station has been residing in since 1975 was originally an A&P supermarket. See? Here's a photo to prove it. The supermarket was converted into the TV studio that would feature Dr. Shock, Dancing on Air, and various other productions, including this show. Say hi, Tony.
Wait, what?
Number 3, Vince McMahon used to have his wrestling shows edited here. As you've seen on this show, we're pretty big wrestling fans around here. that produces all the CCW segments. You're welcome. As it turns out, this station has a bit of history when it comes to wrestling. Yes, we used to air WWE SmackDown Friday nights, but it goes back a bit further than that. As it turns out, in the late 70s and early 80s, when what was then known as the World Wrestling Federation was in the process of expanding to a national audience, Vince McMahon himself would bring his production team to our station and edit shows that they filmed in different parts of Pennsylvania. As a wrestling fan, it's fun to imagine Vince McMahon walking the halls of PHL 17, doing that weird walk-is and being all like, "Let's get this show edited! I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon, damn it!" Pretty awesome if you ask us. Number 4, we helped the Phillies sign Pete Rose. Speaking of WWE Hall of Famer and baseball gambling aficionado Pete Rose used to be a Philadelphia Philly, and we, at various points in time, have been home of the Phillies. You can see the connection. Heck of a transition there, huh? Our relationship with the Phillies has always been very, I'll scratch your back and you scratch mine. This includes us helping the Phillies sign Pete Rose, who in 1979 just ended his contract with the Cincinnati Reds and was one of the hottest free agents going in baseball at the time. As the story goes, the Phillies were eager to sign old Charlie Hustle, but needed a little extra scratch to make it happen. Being the home of the Phillies at the time, we had a vested interest in seeing the team succeed. So we gave the organization the money it needed to sign Mr. Rose to a 4-year contract while also making him the highest paid athlete in team sports for a short while. Say what you will about the man, but the fact that one of the most recognizable names in baseball may owe part of his career to us is at the very least pretty fascinating. Number 5, we did not air the final 2 weeks of the WB. Oh boy, here we go. There's a good chance that many of you out there grew up watching the station back when we were known as WB17, which some of you still call us more than a decade and 2 name changes later. We were an affiliate station for the WB from January 11th, 1995 to September 5th, 2006, when we became affiliated with My Network TV, which we're still with to this day. Remember that last date. This is also when we became MyPHL 17, a name we dropped in 2010, and many of you continue to call us 7 years later. This change in name and affiliation came with one caveat, a caveat that was sure to disgruntle at least a few fans of the WB. You see, the day My Network TV launched, there was still about 2 weeks of programming left on the WB before many of its shows would be folded into the CW. Due to the timing of the launch of My Network TV, anyone who wanted to catch the last 2 weeks of the WB were out of luck. No way for us to run both networks simultaneously for 2 weeks. The WB's lifespan was cut short in the Philadelphia market. Whoops, sorry about that. And that's the list of 5 things you probably didn't know about PHL 17. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and maybe we'll compile a fan list of 5 more facts. I'm John Clemens for Weekend Filler. Tony, back to you.
So that's our show. Thanks for letting us fill a little of your weekend. We hope you have as much fun watching the show as we have making the show. We love making the filler. Please remember to follow us on social. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're literally at the ready right now, waiting for you to like us. And then we're going to text you. And thank you. I'm Tony Romeo, and until next week, I'll see you on the internet.